Yo Nation, what's going on with you guys, man? It's K-Ill's Truth in the building, and today we're gonna be doing a quick tier list. And this tier list isn't gonna be like all official, like da, 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 you know what I mean? It's not gonna be all official, none of that. It's just gonna be what I think about each character, where I think they fit in the meta, and just not more so what I think they need, but just why I think they're in that current position, why I believe they're in that spot. I definitely talked about assassins at some point, what I think they need, what I think they don't need. I'm working on a hybrid video. That one's going to be more professional, where I bring like actual like dope ideas, well, what I believe as dope ideas, you feel me? So we're going to get into this tier list, you guys. And you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, all that good shit. If you enjoy these type of videos, discussions, all that good shit, for honor, we are a dope little family over here. We're at 17K. We just hit 17K, y'all. If you definitely don't drop a comment talking about this video, just drop a 17K hype comment in the comment section for me, you feel me? But nonetheless, let's go ahead and start this discussion video, and we're gonna start off with the D tier, and it goes, let me break this down. D tier, I think completely needs an overhaul, a new path, and a new foundation for the hero. C tier, it severely needs work, severely needs to bring something new to the table. They can keep their like foundation of what they have, but they severely need to bring new things to the table, completely new moves, such as like Kensei's rework level of rework. And B tier, I don't think a Kensei level rework is needed. More so maybe Berserker level rework or something of that nature, or even more so just less than that, or just more adjustments, like some pretty decent adjustments. A tier, I think they're pretty much almost really in a good spot. Just numbers. Maybe an addition of like a property, like an undodgeable property, maybe an unblockable property added here or there. But really, they're really in a good spot. But mostly just a numbers game at this point, or they're just good. They're just balanced. For the most part, they're balanced. And S tier, I feel S tier is just overtuned, not the entire kit, but a property of the kit. And that's a lot of cases with these heroes. It's just not the entire hero is messed up, just that certain thing allows them to pretty much abuse it and use that exclusively in order to get wins. And that's why I feel with S tier is just they just are able to just use one thing to get wins, and I don't agree with that. But nonetheless, we're going to start off with D tier, so let's go ahead and get to it, you guys. So starting off with our only D tier resident, and on my personal list, we have the Shigoki. So the Shigoki, how can I put this? The Shigoki is a meme. Like, this motherfucker is like it's just horrible, because like he has really no way to open anyone up in duel. Like, it's absolutely pathetic to play Shigokis at this point. And I don't mean play as Shigoki, I mean to fight against Shigoki, because even when you fight a skilled player, it just reaches a point where you really don't have to attack a Shigoki, because everything they do is reactable. They have 600 MS lights coming from all sides. They have charge heavies, but at least on PC at this point, you can just see right through it. You can see the charge heavy, you can see them going into feints, you can see them going into guard breaks, you can see everything. And then once they throw that one light, that inevitable light attack, you parry it, you get your crazy damage. Once they lose the hyper armor, they now take more damage for some dumbass reason. And at this point, I know it's being patched out on next Tuesday. Now even in 4s, when you go for Demon's Embrace, it has the regular property as every other bash in the game. So revenge no longer goes through revenge. I know that's getting patched out, but even the devs themselves that says Shigoki is in a terrible spot, they say poor Shigoki. They understand that the spot that Shigoki's in. So I placed them by himself in D tier, because I believe everyone else, whether you have a lot of stamina consumption in your mix-ups, at least you have mix-ups. But at this point, Shigoki really has nothing, so I had to place Shigoki by himself in D tier. So moving forward with the C tier, we have the Raider. The Raider is the first person I'll talk about in C tier. I guess I won't say that this is any particular order as far as the tiers go, but I feel Raider is C tier because at this point, everything the Raider has is very slow, and you have one good mix-up that will force a reaction, with that being the zone attack mix-up, going in a stunning tap or going into a guard break, just straight canceling, and when they're out of stamina, it does bring some pressure, but at the same time, it consumes so much stamina that if you do manage to do it, I mean, you're gonna knock them down. You might get a heavy, you might get your heavy, but you go into another zone attack to keep the pressure up. You're out of stamina at that point, and it's terrible. You know what I mean? Like, and in neutral, everything else is so slow that you can parry it. You know, you do have a nice little soft feint and stunning tap, and I respect that. But at the same time, Ubisoft, The stunning tap into from a heavy has the same dodge timing as the regular heavy, so you can just dodge both of them effortlessly. And I feel that I won't go into changes, but nonetheless I do think this needs to change. I think if you're doing a soft feint, it needs to have some type of undodgeable property or something that will allow the raider to catch those who are just dodging, who are not trying to actually defend against the mix-up. They're choosing to opt out, and they need to fix the stamina consumption on the raider. Until they do that, I see the raider continuing to be in C tier, unfortunately. Alright, so next in C tier we have the Aramusha, and the Aramusha is just funny, man. It's funny, really funny to me, because I feel the Aramusha has such a good foundation. You know, a lot of soft feints, like deadly feint is excellent. I just feel that you could block them out. You feel me? And at this point, like with the guard switch bug that's ever so prevalent, and with the static guard heroes, that you can just block them out. And until they fix that, I'm gonna say Aramusha will remain in C tier. Once they do fix that, I can respectfully maybe put Aramusha in B tier, where he'll require a little bit of change. But right now, with that bug going around, Aramusha is C tier to me. You can just block him out. The only actual pressure giver that Aramusha currently has is the zone attack, because A, it's a heavy property on the first hit, so it doesn't stop if you block it, and it also has an unblockable finisher, which brings some pressure. But I do feel a couple changes need to be made. I'm working on a video for hybrids right now, just be patient on that, but I definitely do think Aramusha is C tier until they fix that static guard switch bug, which will allow Deadly Feint to maybe catch a couple people off guard when they make a mistake. And also I see a lot of people, they've played Aramusha, they know the pattern, because Aramusha has a weird pattern of their deadly feints. You know, a top finisher can only go to the sides, and if you go from the light to a side heavy finisher, you can only go from top or the other side. It has a pattern. So once you learn that pattern, and I've taken the time to finally learn it after like 3 seasons, and I didn't like realize this, you could parry it because you know what's coming. It's not like you can do a heavy finisher into a heavy attack. That's nuts for some reason, Ubisoft. Like, but right now it's a pattern, and once you learn it, it's parry bait. Everything is parry bait with the Aramusha. So I definitely see changes need to be made to this hero to make them A tier, truly viable. But until they fix this static bug glitch going on with the static guard heroes, I'm gonna have to leave Aramusha at C tier, y'all. So next hero in C tier, you guys, we have the Lawbringer. And Lawbringer is funny because everyone loves Lawbringer, man. A certain For Honor YouTuber definitely loves Lawbringer. He's taken the time to try to get Grandmaster with the Lawbringer, and I respect that shit nonetheless. But I feel Lawbringer C tier, and I'll say that because A, side lights are 600 MS. Block shove, at least on PC, I will honestly say at least on PC is reactable. And if it's not reactable, if you can't react to the things, you could roll out of it, which is ridiculous. And that's really the only thing Law Daddy has going for him, is that block shove. You just take the time and block everything out, you could roll out of it. And I know that consumes a lot of stamina, but also at the same time, Lawbringer doesn't have a very strong out of stamina game. You have Amorta Inamikus, but that's the third heavy in the chain. That's the chain finisher, and at that point you have to get to that third heavy finisher, and that takes a lot of stamina within itself. And to feint it, to try to force a reaction, is you can see through it. Like, and that's the main issue as we go through these tiers. Like, you could see through these attacks. You could like with these top heavy unblockables or whatever unblockable finishers, like you could just see them. And I know this is a PC thing, but and I don't want to make this just a PC tier list, but I definitely want you guys to understand that you can see a lot of this shit. Like, you can see when they're not feinting it, you can see when they feint it, so you don't have to parry it. So it's really no pressure, or it's less pressure than some of these other mix-ups in S tier as we get to them. But with Law Daddy in particular, I'll leave him at C tier until they give him some actual out of stamina punishes, and they give him some actual pressure and as far as his neutral game, because right now he doesn't have one. All he has is block shove, and that's just reaction based. He has to wait for someone to attack, and I understand he's a counter attacker, but in the current meta of this bash meta we're in, you're going to need something that's going to give you some form of offense. So until they give him that, I have to leave him at C tier. He needs some work done on him. Sorry, Law Daddy. Sorry, Splice. Sorry, man. So we're moving into B tier, and I'll say B/C still. It's between those two for this hero. We have the Shinobi, and I say that because I don't know where to put the Shinobi, between B or C. Even when I did my Assassin video where I gave my ideas on buffs and shit, I don't know what to do with Shinobi. I just feel he's between B and C, because at this point, at least on PC, like the quad dash and the kick, you could react to it, you could see it. You could literally just see the kick. The kick is slow. So you can just react to it, do your spinning chop, or you punish however you want. Some heroes still can't punish it. I know Warden was the main culprit, but now with this rework, Warden can punish that shit now. I've seen videos doing the dash heavy, you could punish that now, but some heroes still can't really punish it. You have a lot of damage, surprisingly, with Shinobi. Light parries do 40 damage, I believe. Heavy parries do 24, pretty decent damage. You have a nice deflect. His deflect is automatic, the only assassin with an automatic deflect still within the game, where you automatically get damage if you land the deflect. So those accidental deflects, you can net some damage and get your punish in. But his issue is his health, and he doesn't have anything to truly crack a turtle. And like I said, that kick is just reactable. Good players can react to it, they can dodge it, most can punish it. So it just reaches a point where it's like he doesn't have an opener, and that's why I placed him in B tier, because I believe B tier is the area where heroes don't have viable openers. They don't have viable openers. And I want to leave him at C because you can just react to it. You know what I mean? So he's in a spot where he needs work. He definitely does need work. I won't sit here and tell you what I think he needs. I've figured out what I think he needs, but nonetheless, I'll just leave it at that. And I think he is right in the middle, on the cusp of B, but high C tier. So that's what I feel about Shinobi, y'all. So moving forward with the B tier, we have the Centurion. And the Centurion's funny, man. Like, this motherfucker, he is so close to being A tier, y'all. Like, he is so close. He is such, he is like a move or two adjustment away from being A tier. Like, his kick, I think, like I don't want to get too far into what I think about his kick. I hope y'all just didn't hear my stomach. I'm hungry as shit, y'all. Like, I'm so hungry right now. My stomach just growled. I hope y'all didn't hear, but nonetheless, the Centurion, I feel the Centurion, he's so close. Like, his kick, if they can give it, like, this is before I even saw the Warden rework, but they can give that shit a charge property where he can charge it. That way, if he gets those early dodges, he can kick him to the ground and then get his Eagle's Talon to jump heavy. And then if he can cancel his damn zone attack, if he can cancel the second or third hit, he would be great. He would be balanced. Like, he's so close. And I know I'm working on a hybrid video. I'm just gonna say the same shit in that video, honestly, but you just got a quick preview. But nonetheless, if he can do something like that, or cancel his kick into a punch, like kind of like Highlander, but only difference is it does like 13 damage on his light instead of like the 40 that Highlander gets. If he can do something like that to give him an opener, and he just can cancel his zone attack, so he can cancel the second or third hit, he will be balanced. So I put him in B tier because I feel that he's solid. He's a pretty okay character. It's just he needs a few changes to make him like A tier, to make him just viable. Like, and that's why I put him there. He just needs a few changes, y'all. So I like Centurion. I like his character design. I know some people hate the cutscene still, but at this point, if you're getting hit with the cutscene, that's your fault. You're going for a parry, and you missed. It's your fault. I'm sorry. It's no longer the fact where he can just get a guard break on a parry and just throw you against the wall. I know his punish can wall splat you, but you got to be close to your wall. You playing this game. I know some maps are unfair like that, but nonetheless, like, if you get hit with that cutscene, it's your fault. I still get hit with it. It's my fault when I get hit with it. And that's how I feel about Centurion, man. I know the community hates Centurion, but fuck it. That's how I feel. Fuck it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Fuck it. I'm gonna say what I want. Next up, we got my baby. We got the Peacekeeper. I placed Peacekeeper in B tier because at this point I feel that her offense is very, very reliant on speed, and I don't think speed is always the answer. I think soft feints are the answer, but true, she has a soft feint. You're right, she has a soft feint to dagger cancel, but I do believe that's it's pretty much just a weaker shaman. She's a weaker shaman at this point. The only thing she really has going for is her option select parries at this point. It has its niche use, especially against some things like Berserker, and even then it's still a trade if Berserker goes into the light attack. But with things like Warden's top heavy unblockable, it has its niche use in certain situations like that. So I could respect that. And also the zone attack is 400 MS out of neutral, but at this point on PC at least you can react to it. You can react to the zone attack in a lot of cases, and also you can out of pure neutral going into the zone. That's not a thing for good players. You can put your guard stance to the left and just block it out. If you have a static guard, hold it to the left, you're fine. So that really does limit her kit. She doesn't have any unblockable to open anyone up, so I think that needs to change. I won't go into details. I've already given my thoughts on Peacekeeper in the past video, but I definitely do think she needs small adjustments still after her rework, which is a shame, but nonetheless it is what it is. She's not the worst on the list at all. As you can see, she's not the worst, but she's definitely not the best anymore at this point, and I think she needs a couple small adjustments and she'll be A tier. So next up we have the Nobushi. We have the Nobushi, and Nobushi is has a pretty good foundation, you guys. It's just I think Nobushi at this point is a numbers game. Also a numbers game and also a mix-up game adjustment. Like I think her numbers can be adjusted, maybe make her light attack faster, her neutral lights faster, things of that nature. Also change like maybe a kick, instead of her automatically, or not automatically, but having to go into the light attack, maybe she can go into a heavy to create some mix-ups after a kick whiff, things of that nature, just to give all around changes. Give her maybe a soft feint out of hidden stance into the heavy mix-up, because you know if you block the heavy, it's a free kick. Maybe give her a soft feint into guard break or something like that. I don't know, but nonetheless, I just think certain things of that nature could really put Nobushi in A tier, because she has a really good foundation. She has dodge heavy, dodge lights. Maybe give her dodge heavies undodgeable status, just anything, you know what I mean? There's certain things that, like, she has a really good foundation, you guys, that could, and I feel that just if you change her up just a little bit, just change some of the things that she has, she can go into A tier. And she's close, you know what I mean? I don't think she's definitely worst on the list. That's why she's B tier. She's not the best, but she's not the worst. And I like Nobushi. I like her thick ass, so that's what I feel about Nobushi. So, and then finally, finishing off this B tier, we got the Orochi. And with the Orochi, Orochi's going in the right direction, you guys, in my opinion. Some people don't like the light spam. I can agree with that. The light spam is crazy. I think the focus should have been less on the light combos and more so on the delayed lights. I think that should have been the focus of the rework, not so much as giving him a 3-chain light chain. I don't really understand that just promotes light spamming, but I think more or less like with the storm rush, or with the landing the heavy and then you have such a delay on the light attack. I like that. Like, I know that it can be frustrating on console, but I like just the delay, like, because it does kind of almost make you read your opponent. You have to read it. You have to, like, okay, which way is he throwing it from, because it's such a good delay. I wish Berserker had such a good delay like that on his lights in the infinite chain, but nonetheless, this is Orochi we're talking about. I think things like Storm Rush are good, even though you can get hit out of it for some reason. That's what's keeping him B tier, is certain things like that. He's getting hit out of it. I think with certain shit, man, I don't know, man. With Storm Rush in particular, I think it'd be dope as shit if, like, if the top, not only if you attacked from a certain stance and he was throwing it in another stance and he was throwing the Storm Rush from another stance, he would automatically dodge that attack and land his attack. I think so. That's a gamble. So it would now be a read. You feel me? Because you know it comes out fast. It comes out fast. That's what she said. But you know, like, Storm Rush comes out fast. I think it's what they say, 300 ms, 400 ms, and 500 for the top. Like, let's say you threw an attack from the top to try to stop him, because that's the best strat for Storm Rush at this point, just to hit him out of it. So, and then you're actually going from the left. He's going to dodge that and hit you because you just threw an attack. He's going to automatically dodge it and hit you because you tried to read and you guessed wrong. So now you're getting punished for it. So the best thing to do, since it's so fast, is to try to block it. And I think that's something that needs to change with Orochi. You shouldn't just be able to hit. It shouldn't be an all to end all as far as defense, as far as a counter action for any attack in the game. I don't think there should just be an all to end all. I'm just gonna hit him and that solves it, or I'm just gonna roll out and that's gonna solve it. I don't agree with that. I just think there needs to be good reads and good mix-ups. So you should be able to gamble it, but I definitely think Orochi's B tier. I'm talking about Orochi way longer than I need to. I think he's B tier. He has good chains. He has really good chains. Nice delay lights, but also he lacks an unblockable to add true pressure on the opponent. And I think that needs to change. I think every hero needs an unblockable, in my opinion. But yeah, that's how I feel about Orochi. So starting off with our A tier heroes, I have the Warlord. And I put the Warlord first on A tier because I feel this hero is damn near S tier. Like, he's damn near S tier. Really, the only thing stopping Warlord from being S tier, in my opinion, is the fact that he can't side dodge into his headbutt. If he could side dodge into his headbutt, he'd be S tier, because that's all that's needed in this day and age to be an S tier hero. Is a solid pure opener out of neutral. That's all, not a soft feint, but just a pure opener, you know, not a read, but just a pure opener. That's what S tier is, in my opinion, these days. We're in a bash meta where You see these, you look at the Grandmasters, you know what I mean? Look at ranked mode. What do you fight? You fight Warden and Conqueror, and I feel Warlord is damn near there. He just lacks that quality where he can't play their little tic-tac-toe game, as Kenzo says. Like, it's just a tic-tac-toe game of who can dodge and get their bash in first, and that's what it is with S tier at high level at this point. It's just it's a bash meta, and I feel Warlord is close to that. He just needs that side dodge into bash. I'm not saying he needs it, but that's what he would need to be S tier, and outside of that, he's very, very extremely simple. Some say he needs a rework. I think maybe he needs a couple chains added for those who want to actually play him to his fullest ability. I think I know on certain moves he can land his all block heavy on certain moves, when on certain ones he can't. It gets blocked. I think maybe if they change that, he'd be more like Conqueror at that point. But he's definitely A tier in my opinion. He's so simple but yet so effective, and some people say he needs a rework. I mean, I think he just can use a few adjustments. I don't think he needs a full-blown rework, but that's just my opinion. That's literally just my opinion. He's just simple but effective, and that's how I feel about Warlord. So the next hero in A tier in my opinion is the Shaman. So with the Shaman, I really like Shaman, you know, like I really like her as a character. I don't play her, but I like her, you know. At one point she was hated. I think she still is hated by the community. You know, the community hates somebody new every season, but I think Shaman is really in a okay spot now. Like, she's pretty good, you know. She got solid mix-ups. She has a nice bash, but her bash has a pretty good dodge window, you know what I mean? So you could see it coming, but it could still catch you off guard, and that's how I feel bash should be. It shouldn't be automatic like you know, these S tier heroes, but you could still dodge it, you know, and it still has a risk of using it, but used sparingly, you can land some damage with it. You can get some decent damage, and I like it. She has a good bash, has a good zone attack. Her zone attack can be canceled. She has good soft feints. She has really good mix-ups, and she has decent damage. She's a good character. She has like nice properties about her. Her bite, I think some things about her bite can change. Maybe not get a bite off a guard break, maybe not get a full bar of stamina off a successful bite, but things like that, things of that nature, I don't maybe agree with that. I think it's better in 4s, but in 1s it seems a little bit unfair. Maybe it could be a feat or something instead of just a natural thing for her. But I won't get into that. This, as you can tell, this is a primarily duels tier list. Like, to try to say it in 4s would just, it changes. It changes when you do brawl and when you do 4s and when you do duel. The tier list changes completely. So maybe I'll do that in the future once I learn 4s a lot more. But you guys know I'm a duelist. My subscribers know I'm a duelist, so I speak from a duelist perspective. I definitely think Shaman is A tier. She's definitely a really good hero after the nerfs. She's solid, and I like her, and I really like Shaman. So next up in our A tier, we have my other baby. We have the Berserker, and I know on console this can be S tier quality. This could be an S tier quality hero based on the light attacks, and I know Orochi can definitely be A tier quality based on his light attacks. But I put him A tier because I feel at this point high level players are blocking these attacks. They are getting blocked. I play on console. I've made diamond ranking console. I just did it for the sake of just doing it, and at this point there were players where I had a hard time landing attacks, and I had to really play very defensively, and on PC that's no question. It is no question. You don't land the attacks that you land on console on PC. In fact, when you go against some of these high level players, during placements and during ranked matches, your attacks might get parried. They either might get parried, they might get dodged, or you're going to get punished. You can't just go willy-nilly with the dodge lights. And the hyper armor is great until you run into those defensive players who don't play your game. And the only way to get damage with Berserker at this point is if they choose to play your game. And what I mean by that, they go for feints, they go for mix-ups, they're playing your game. And if they're not playing your game, you're not going to be trading attacks, because they're not going for attacks, they're not going for parries. You know what I mean? So they're not going to do that. They're just going to play defensive, lock up, and then once your stamina gets low, she doesn't have a high stamina pool, they're just going to they're going to go back to neutral, or they're going to start their assault. You feel me? So against static guards, against good defense, you're going to have to also play defensively, look for parries, things of that nature, because the top heavy unblockable is, you can see through it on PC. High level PC, you can see right through it. I didn't believe it Like, I'm like, no, it's good, it's gonna be good. But as I've improved as a player, like I say it constantly, I saw that coming. It's not even about being predictable, because they can feign it like 3-4 times, and like on the 5th time it's like you just see it. Like, you guys, you literally just see it. Like, I can only like, unfortunately, only those who play PC can just relate. Like, or maybe if you're on console, you can also see it. Like, I won't disrespect console, because I come from console, you know what I mean? I won't disrespect console at all. It's just those who can relate. Like, you can just see, you can see these top heavy unblockables. Even Wardens, the same thing with Warden. You can just see right through it, and you can just, and you'll parry it. Now, like, sometimes you go for that heavy, but you feint it because you catch yourself like, nah, that was fake, and you might get hit with a light at that point, a 400 ms light. But other than that, I feel Berserker's A tier. Once you get very defensive on Berserker, they have no option but to also play defensively to try to stay out of your mix-ups, and that's why I put Berserker at A tier, because Berserker just can't create his own offense off the rip. Can't just, damn, my stomach, y'all, my stomach is growling. I'm so hungry. I'm sorry, I'm doing this shit in one take. But Berserker just can't. Doesn't have a pure opener, like S tier. And I'm not saying that she needs one, but I'm just saying that's where she currently stands in the meta. So next up in A tier, we have the Valkyrie. So with the Valkyrie, man, soft feint actually got a pretty good soft feint to their dodge, and also they have a nice ability to actually throw a heavy or a light attack. So on a whiffed bash, they can also do a mix-up, and I like that. And that's what I meant when I said Nobushi. On whiffs, I'll give them options, so it's an actual mix-up, because a lot of people are going to start dodging it. And you know, you can hard cancel a heavy into a guard break, try to use a mix-up, things of that nature. Unfortunately, it looks like her sweep is set to stay at 600 ms. She definitely, in my opinion, would be S tier if it was at 500. That would be incredibly fast. I played Shaolin. Shaolin also had a kick that was that fast, and also had a sweep that was that fast. It was pretty fast. So the fact that it's staying at 600, you can react to it, but if you don't react to it and you get hit with it, it's 35 damage. She's really good. She has some really good on her all guard, she has some really good back dodges. I've watched Talon Dillard's his tech, and like, well, not just his tech, but some shit that he showed in his video, and it was dope. You know, like, you can react, you can get out of a lot of these mix-ups, and also you could punish them. And on top of that, she has some really good superior lights, and like, her superior lights are really dope, you know, and all these things. I can say that Valkyrie, in my opinion, is A tier. Like, she's dope, you know what I mean? I don't think she's overpowered. That's why I put her A tier. I don't think she's overpowered. I don't think she needs to be adjusted in a negative way. Like, maybe if they wanted to do a few things to her to adjust, I think they said they want to do a few things to adjust her in a positive manner, they can go forward. But at this point, I do think that she's one of the better heroes in the cast, and I don't think that she's last. Like used to be able to argue between her and Shigoki. That's no longer the case in the least bit. She's definitely a really good hero. Some people say B tier. I put her at A at the moment, and we'll see what they do with her in the future. But I'm digging the Valkyrie, man. She's dope. She's dope to fight. I like fighting her. In my last live stream, I wanted to go with a lot of rounds with Valkyrie, but unfortunately the dude quit, and really kind of upset me, because I really wanted to play high level against the character. So yeah, I got nothing but respect for Valkyrie at this point. So next up, we have the Kensei. After Kensei's rework season 5, Kensei's solid, man. Just really solid. You got a lot of options. I know a lot of people say he has a slow heavy startup time. I mean, you can cancel that and go for a parry, you know what I mean? You can cancel that. It's all about the mind games, you know. But with Kensei, has a lot of mix-ups, a lot of good mix-ups, and a very solid character, really good zone attack, you know. It's even reaching the point where his zone attack is now a mix-up, because with the zone, it's fast. So if you land the first hit, and you're going for the second, like, a lot of people cancel the second. So if you cancel it, you can get guard broken in a very small window. But a lot of people know that, so a lot of Kenseis are just letting the second one fly, and they're hitting guys because they're going for guard breaks, so they bounce off of them and just get hit. So it's even mix-ups within his own attack, and I love that. I love that about the game. That's my favorite part about this game, is the mind games. That's what keeps me coming back for more and more with For Honor. It's the mind games. It's not the bashes. It's none of that shit. It's the mind games, and that's why I picked Berserker. That's why I really like Berserker. It's all about mind games, and I feel Kensei stands tall on that. He brings a lot of mind games. He has nice speed. He has speed in his lights. A lot of his soft feint lights. A lot of his a lot of even his heavies are nice and slow. They have a very special timing on his heavies, and it really does give you. I even fall for it sometimes. I'm going for the parry, but I hit the parry button too early because it's so slow that it catches you off guard sometimes, and that's my fault because like me as a player I have to improve, and I love that about Kensei, and it's just so much good going for the character. He's a solid pick in 4s and 1s with his dodge heavy being so great in 4s, his target switching being so great in 4s, and even in 1s he can hold his own. He's a solid character, and I respect Kensei. I love him. He's A tier in my opinion. So wrapping things up with our A tier heroes, we have the Highlander. I put Highlander in A tier because I feel while his offensive stance is excellent, even though you could roll out of the mix-up if you want to, but that's not a good idea with Highlander. You know, once you're out of stamina, you have to face that mix-up and that caber toss into kick. Well, that kick in the caber toss shit is absolutely ridiculous. I've even seen guys going for the heavy unblockable into the kick, into the grab, just to throw people off, and it's crazy. Like they try to dodge and they end up getting hit, and it's crazy. And it hits like a truck. 40 damage, you know, for every mistake you make. It's crazy. 400 ms dodge recovery, 400 ms lights. They use a lot of stamina, but nonetheless 400 ms lights. He could be very defensive in his offensive stance with those lights. With those dodges, my bad. He could be very defensive. His defensive is lacking a little bit. The little mix up he has, I forget the name of it. The heavy into soft feint for the light. That's very reactable. You can react to it, at the very least block it. Most people can just parry it. They did fix it. They gave it a soft feint into offensive stance, so that's good. That's dope, you know what I mean? But 600 ms lights and defensive stance, easy parry bait. He can, I could say if they did something about the kick grab mix up, because a lot of characters can't punish that, nor can they can't punish it. They just have to dodge it and pray for the best. If they can fix that in some way or shape, and some heroes, like a lot of assassins, can just completely get over it. They can completely just get out of it with their dodge light. They can just escape both mix-ups. So if they could figure, I don't know what they can do about that shit. They could figure out a way to fix that, maybe improve his defensive stance a little bit, make it a little better. But as far as that goes, I've also seen guys starting to use that unblockable heavy and use that as a mix-up to get people to dodge light, because as soon as a lot of assassins, they see that red, they see that unblockable fire coming in, they go for the dodge. So a lot of people are feigning that unblockable, and then they go into a defensive stance and parry for punish. So I see that's good about the character, you know. If they could figure out a way to fix that, and they've improved defensive stance a little bit. Right now it's a little lacking. It has a lot of hyper armor, but it's pretty lacking. Everything's pretty slow. They could figure out a way to fix that. I think he'd be solid, completely solid character. But I have him at A tier right now, simply based on his out of stamina presence. When you're out of stamina against a Highlander, say goodbye. Like say goodbye. Like you're gonna die. Like he's dangerous. He's very dangerous in offensive stance when you're out of stamina. Even when you have stamina with certain heroes, he's very dangerous. He's very dangerous. So I could respect Highlander. You know, it's just that kick and the grab mix up is kind of crazy right now. But they figure out a way to bring that back in, he'll be good. So now we're in our S tiers. These are heroes that I feel that are just whether they have a simple ass kit or they have a complex kit, these heroes are for honor on easy mode, in my opinion. These are just like heroes that it's just easy mode. It's a simple button combinations are equaling W's with these heroes. And the first hero we're going to be talking about is Conqueror. I feel Conqueror at this point he's ridiculous. His shield bash is extremely too fast, in my opinion. I know within his dodge he has 100 millisecond startup time in his dodge, so pretty much no human can react to 100 millisecond difference, meaning that as soon as you see him dodge, most people are going to dodge themselves, because that's how fast the shield bash starts itself. But once you see that, it's pretty much a prediction. So now you're just predicting it, and I don't mind prediction, but when the entire game is based on your prediction itself, that's when the issue comes in. And you can also delay it. You can delay these startups, you know, and you can delay it, and it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? He can just start up and just hit you and just weather you down, and it reaches a point where he doesn't have to give you anything. As a Conqueror, he doesn't have to give you any type of any type of neutral attacks in the form of just throwing a heavy or throwing a light or doing any type of combos. Like, he can literally play as defensive as he wants and just weather your health down using shield bash exclusively. And I feel that that does not need to exist in the game. I feel that that is completely just not what this game should represent. For Honor shouldn't be about just using a bash to get all of your damage and withering your health down. I've seen players play him just for the sake of winning, and I mean, you do what you do, but I don't agree with that shit. I think this game has to have some form of competitive edge. Like, I could respect dudes like Arch I could respect dudes like Arch Splice. They're taking the time to just play the game how it's intended, or more so trying to prove a point by playing underpowered heroes in order to prove their point. Then I could respect that shit, you feel me? But it's just when it comes to these heroes that you can just weather their health down with bashes and just exclusively do that, I can't respect that shit. Like, it's just, what are you doing? Like, why are you playing at this point just for the sake of winning? Like, I don't agree with that shit. I just think, like, I'm not saying anyone who uses Conqueror is a horrible player. No, you have some excellent players who play Conqueror, but at the same time, you should be doing more than just bashing to get your W's. You feel me? You should be doing way more than bashing to get your W's, and I don't see the point in it. Like, I think shield bash needs to have some form of, either on a whiffed shield bash, there should be more recovery frames so you could properly punish for the speed that it comes out at, or it should have a later startup time so you can see, maybe not even just like Centurion late, but just something where you could see it, where you could see the mix up, where you can attempt to see it, you know, and you can, and not so much predict, but you can at least react to it, because right now you have to pretty much dodge it before you even see him actually doing it, and that leads to just getting hit with a guard break and getting hit with a heavy attack, you feel me? And let's not even talk about out of stamina pressure. Conqueror is ridiculous out of stamina at this current point. He can keep you out of stamina, retain his stamina, and continually abuse you until you die. And it's like, don't run out of stamina against Conqueror. It's dangerous. It's death. If you're in a close fight with a Conqueror, you run out of stamina, you lost. You lost. And a lot of characters can't say that they have that ability, but Conqueror is just one of those heroes where his presence is just known. It's known all throughout ranked. It's known all throughout the Grandmaster top 100. He's known, and I feel that needs to change. It needs to be more organic. His kit needs to have more in it than just bashing, and it does have more in it, but people don't have to use it, and that's an issue to me. With a lot of these heroes, you have to use the entirety of their kit in order to be effective with them, but with Conqueror, that's just not the case. You can use shield bash in the guard break mix up and just get your W's, and I don't agree with that. But no, enough harping about Conqueror. Let's talk about the other S tiers. So I got Gladiator in S tier, and that's gonna surprise people. Like, Gladiator sucks. His reflex guard sucks, but that is the only thing that's wrong with Gladiator. That is the only thing that is a negative about this hero, his reflex guard. And if you're playing, and sometimes there are those bugaboos where Conqueror's top heavy will hit you, it'll smack you even though you were blocking. So sometimes even with Orochi, there are some things with Orochi that'll land, like some of his heavy attacks will land when you're blocking. It's all timing, and sometimes it sucks, but all in all, Gladiator is at another point in this game. He's up to standard as far as his light attacks. He has decent damage on his dodge lights from all directions. He's very simple, 20 damage for his dodge light, which is really good. That is pretty damn good. You got his heavies are 30, which is okay, but he's so standardized. And his zone attack is a 600 MS bash that's very hard to react to. And also, if you do manage to react to it, it has no guard break vulnerability, so it's damn near unpunishable outside of everyone but assassins. And a few other heroes are able to punish it, but he's really good. He has just that zone attack. He has excellent stamina management. He is a solid choice if you want to use nothing but a bash to win and use a few other things. Like, I say his skewer could use some assistance. Right now you can literally see when they're throwing it or when they're not throwing it, but outside of that, but nothing should be done to this hero until they fix that zone attack of his. I'll leave him at S tier because you can play him in a manner that will literally, you can just use your bash, your unblockable bash, in order to get free damage to win. you don't have to use anything else in this kit. You can use that exclusively, keep your distance until you get your stamina back, rinse and repeat. And he has excellent stamina management, excellent stamina recovery, so it won't take long in order to do that. And that's why I have him at S tier. That's why I have him at S tier, I should say. It's such a broken mechanic that's ever so prevalent in these S tier heroes, and that's where I feel with Gladiator. That's why I like using Glad, but I try not to use that zone attack because I really don't like getting free damage. Like, I like to earn my damage, I like to earn my wins, you feel me? But ranked, anything goes. I used it in rank on on console to get my rank, not exclusively, of course. I use other attacks, but I did not shy away from using my zone attack in order to get the kill or do what I need to do. But I definitely used it, but not exclusively. I used the entire kit, you feel me? But nonetheless, that's Gladiator. I think he's S tier. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section on Gladiator in particular. I know some people think he's A tier, some people think he's B. Nonetheless, that's where I have him at S tier currently. And finishing things off with S tier heroes, and these are in no particular order as far as the tiers. This is just where I think each hero is in. But we have the Warden. And Warden got a hell of a rework. Some people thought Warden was going to be worse because they took away the soft feign, the guard break, but Warden has proven that he doesn't need that shit anymore. I've watched Wardens exclusively use shoulder bash, and the thing about shoulder bash is not like these other bashes where it's just simple. It's just you have to focus on dodging one property. You have to focus on dodging that and you'll be okay. Warden is in another boat where as soon as you cannot dodge as soon as you see him doing it. You have to make reads. You have to make complete reads, and it's his game to lose in any scenario. When you do duels with Warden, it is his game to lose. He has charge mechanics where he's able to charge it. He's able to keep his distance. That's what makes him S tier and damn near the best hero in the game, arguably the best hero in the game in my opinion. He has an inside game with his uncharged shoulder bash, with his 500 MS lights that you can parry them with things of that nature. His zone attack now goes into a heavy. He can apply pressure with his top heavy unblockable, which I can see through. Anyone, a lot of PC guys can see through it, a lot of console guys can see through it, but nonetheless it's there. A lot of heroes, that is their main shebang, that is their main point. Like some heroes, that is what they have that brings them to the table, but he just has that as like a side entree on his kit. Like, and the fact that he has that is good, you know what I mean? Like he can combo his zone attack. That's an excellent short range game, his close range game I should say, but his long range, he has the best long range game in the game. He has it now. His charge shoulder bash, you can cancel it, you can let it go and cancel it. He starts the animation and you have to dodge at that point because you see it coming at you. You have to dodge, but he can cancel it, and if you dodge backwards, he can go into his dodge heavy and hit you for damage, or he can let it fly if you dodge early trying to dodge the uncharged shoulder bash, and he got you for 40 damage top heavy. So he has an outside game, but he has an inside game, and they both are lethal. And his out of stamina game is just as great as well. It remains the same. Like, granted, sometimes you might miss a guard break because you have to hard cancel it out instead of soft feign it, but still, he's still in an excellent spot, you guys, and I believe he's S tier. I'm sorry, he has like, I know they nerfed his light damage, double lights, they nerfed that, but he still is in a really good spot. He still has crushing counters. I don't see a lot of people use him. There's a lot of new wardens out here. Just look at the game. Like, look how many wardens everyone is fighting. It speaks for itself. He is a S tier hero in my opinion. His rework definitely put him on the map. He's no longer the warden that we knew. He's a threat. He is a force, and I don't know if they need to, like, what they need to do. I just think the only thing they could potentially do is change that charge shoulder bash where he's actually running at you. I don't think that should exist. I don't think he should have that ability to run at you and then cancel it. I think that shouldn't be there, because at that point you're literally running at me. You feel me? You're literally running at me. I see it, so I'm gonna dodge. But I think maybe they should change that. But outside of that, I don't know what else they can do to Warden. He's definitely S tier in my opinion though. Like, and that's my list, you guys. Like, I think I went over everybody. I think I covered everybody. And once again, like I said, this is in my opinion. I very much so, very, very respectfully ask that you guys drop your tier list. You feel me? You drop your tier list in the comment section. As always, as you guys know, I read the comments. I check them out. We discuss shit. And if yours is different from mine, that's not a bad thing. Like it just really upsets me that people think it's bad when you have a different opinion than someone else. Like it's not a bad thing. It's just like you have a different opinion. It's dope. That's dope. You have your own thoughts. You're not just a stand. You're not just a stand that's just going to agree with everything I say. You have your own opinion, and I could faithfully respect that. So I definitely encourage everyone to give their opinions in the comment section, and we're gonna keep rocking it like that. I got a hybrid video going more in depth with changes I think they should make to all the hybrids, whether they should maybe even leave some hybrids alone, they're in a good spot, or if they should buff or nerf accordingly. But just in my opinion, you know, just on some simple shit. But nonetheless, you guys, that's the video, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, my name is Illich Truth. If you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, sub up. Go ahead, drop a like if you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed the discussions, all that good shit. We like to do discussions a lot here. I know I haven't dropped a video in a minute. I've just been kind of unmotivated, you know, after making that For Honors Alive in 2018 video. Like that really drained a lot. It took a lot of effort to make that video. So I definitely was just kind of like, I'm like, where do I go from here? That's the point I was at. So but nonetheless, we're here now. We're here with this video, so we're gonna keep rocking like this. We're definitely on the road to 20K subs. So I definitely want to thank you guys this much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later, man. Peace to the world, peace to the earth. We are out, ladies and gentlemen. That's a wrap. Peace, y'all.